Every single man that we have met or experienced has always been an abuser or a cheater or an addict or all three. My first husband, all of my boyfriends, my father, my grandfathers, my cousin's father, my cousin's husband, her first husband, her second husband, every single man in our family line, and every single man that me, my sister, my mom, my aunt, or my cousins were involved with, we're all just these awful people. And while I'm sure that there are great men out there, I'm sure there's a lot of very great men. I just have not personally experienced that. Everything is all good on a surface level, but when you really get to know a person, it's always psychotic. And I don't even know why I am making this video and telling everyone this, but I just don't know. I really expect better from people. I'm making a stuffed pumpkin for dinner right now, and I'm just so burnt out.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry that you've been through so much. I'm glad you still recognize that there's probably good men out there, even if you haven't met them yet. But not to be rude, look at the common denominator with all of this. It's you and, your friend that you mentioned. I'm not saying this to be rude, but your normal meter is calibrated when you're younger, typically. That's why some of us who had rough upbringings often date the same person over and over, where we end up in similar situations over and over. And then we're more likely to surround ourselves with friends who have been through the same things as us, because you naturally connect with those people. But what ends up happening is all of you guys end up dating similar people, and then instead of realizing there might be something going on with you, you blame all of the people that you've interacted with. And I'm not saying you're going out of your way to cause this for yourself, but you might be running into those good men that you mentioned that might exist. They might be right in front of you. But when that calm, respectful man shows up, you might not be attracted to him because he's calm, he brings peace. You might think he's suspicious or too nice, and that's worth considering. You might not feel chemistry with this guy initially because it's not what you're used to. Also, do you set reasonable boundaries in your relationships? What are you looking for as far as men go? Obviously, I don't have much context to work with here. You didn't give specifics, so I'm just taking guesses. But what I've noticed is sometimes the red flags are right there in your face, but because you're not used to seeing them, you're blinded by them. I notice a lot of women online encourage other women to date men for superficial things. How he pays on the date, how he presents himself, these stupid little things that really don't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of his actual personality. Because the reality is, some of the actually toxic people out there can fake it. And this is not gender specific. That's why you really need to look for the deeper qualities of a human being. Do they try their best? Do they have high integrity? Do they care about other people and are empathetic? I really suggest in these situations you either work on yourself privately or even go to a professional that can be super helpful to help you break down some of your patterns and know what to tolerate, what to not tolerate, how to set boundaries, how to communicate effectively, so you know what kind of men to realistically attract into your life. And again, not gender specific, but there are people out there who are toxic that do search out people who are very giving and loving. And I don't know your personality, but maybe you're in that group. People who are toxic, both men and women, will look for people who doubt themselves often, who over-explain, who fear conflict, who deep down believe it's their job to heal the other person when that's not your job. Well, I'm a firm believer that people need to be empathetic, loving, and understanding towards men, especially because they don't get a lot of it. Both men and women need to have limits somewhere, because if you don't have limits, it's like takers don't have any limits. They're gonna keep taking. But I highly suggest working on yourself so you can see kind of what you're doing that might cause these people to be attracted to you. Or if you're maybe someone who also can't take accountability, and you could work on that as well. Because you have to be the type of woman that a good man would realistically want, and maybe there's some traits that you can cultivate within yourself.